Texans win it!
You've been called the Da Vinci of our time. What do you say to that?
Absolutely ridiculous. I don't paint.
That goal is history! A walk-off home run!
And it's going to be legendary.
James Pledger wraps your day with insight, opinion, plenty of sarcasm, and of course, your calls. He'll even pour a beer out the door for his favorite story of the day. This is Extra Innings with Pledger. Now, here's Pledge.
Welcome into Extra Innings with Pledger right here on San Antonio Sports Star, 94.1 FM, sasportstar.com. I am James Pledger. Thanks for joining me. However you may be doing so, whether that is on 94.1 FM, listening via our AA Best Bail Bonds audio player at sasportstar.com, or if you are a part of the bullpen, watching on our YouTube channel. If you aren't, feel free. Go to SA Sports Star's YouTube channel, search SA Sports Star. Go ahead and like, subscribe. You can comment along with the show, like Fred Robert Casares Jr. What's happening, my guy? Over good phone calls throughout the show. I try to be as interactive as possible with each and every one of y'all. So you could call in at 210-656-3776. That's 210-656-ESPN. You can follow me or the station on X. I am Pledger. You can follow the station at SA Sports Star on all our social media pages. Lots to get into today. The Masters, Tiger Woods finishing up on 10 right now at 1 under par through 9. So nice little start to the front 9 for Tiger as he hits the backside. Super, super windy up at Augusta. I am actually shocked at a few of the scores that have come in, seeing how windy it has actually been out there at Augusta. But as of right now, Bryson DeChambeau leads the way at 7 under par in the clubhouse. So that's good for, Bryson to kind of be done, no longer having to worry, get ready for tomorrow. You got Scotty Scheffler made a huge run on the back 9, got to 6 under par. Willett's at 4 under, along with Hogard, Max Homa, all at a group at 4 under. And then there is the star of the show, Hatton, one of our favorite golfers as of right now, because if you were listening to the headline blitz earlier with Jason and Joe, he was asked, what sounds like by Sky Sportsnet, about their chances to win.
What's it going to take for a third Englishman to get it done this week?
Shouldn't ask me. I've got no chance, but I'll
ask the major champion, shall I?
Yeah.
So Hatton, who says he has no chance, actually through 11 holes at 3 under par right now. And so doing very, very well for himself here at Augusta, trying to get through. So Tyrell Hatton making a very good run on his front 9. Will Zalatoris at 2 under. And then some other notable names: Tony Finau, Patrick Cantlay, Rory McIlroy, all tied at 18 back, along with Victor Hovland, Cameron Smith at 1 under par. Most of them in the clubhouse as of right now. Justin Thomas in the clubhouse at even par, along with Sergio Garcia. And then, of course, lefty Phil Mickelson at +1. It's going to be interesting, kind of see how this weather finishes up, see how this day finishes up, because I want Tiger to be able to finish his round today, because it's important in terms of just his recovery process. Playing 18 a day, cool. Having to squeeze an extra 18, 19 20-something holes into a day that is more grueling than what you would initially have planned for. Very difficult. But I do like Tiger's chances at the Masters just in general because I do believe in the fact that course knowledge at Augusta is super important. And there's few players that know the course as well as Tiger Woods, where to hit it, where to miss it, and the best way to approach it from shot to shot. I think course knowledge is insanely important when it comes to Augusta National, especially when dealing with those greens and some of the slopes that just even the fairway can leave you on with the ball well below your feet, well above your feet. I think that's going to be very, very crucial down the stretch. But Bryson DeChambeau currently in the lead, 7 under par, and Tiger Woods tied for 18th at 1 under right now. But definitely want to see him make the cut and be around for the weekend, and then whatever, let the chips fall where they may. I don't know how to feel about today. Upon hearing the news this morning that O.J. Simpson had passed, I never really knew O.J. the football player. I knew O.J. the actor, the celebrity. I knew he was a great football player. I never really got to see him play as a youth. And so I know the things he did. I know the 9,000 yards in 5 seasons and the 2,000-yard season and all of that coming during 14 game schedules where we're having running backs have a tough time breaking 1,000 yards right now with 18 games. So it's incredible. And just because of today, I may have to go back and rewatch that multi-part documentary that the ESPN 360 or the E60 did on the O.J. Simpson trial. Or actually, I think it was just O.J. Simpson, Made in America is what it was called. And it was it dictated his whole life from San Francisco and growing up and playing and getting to the NFL and transitioning into TV and, you know, his relationship with Nicole Brown and then the murder and the trial and then the post after the acquittal. It was captivating TV. And I remember the day the world stood still during the chase. I was a child watching the Rockets go for their first title. As a Rockets fan, it was huge for me. All of a sudden, I see this white Bronco and police following it. I had zero care of this, but everybody and their mother did. And I don't think I understood the full gravity of what was happening in the moment at that time on TV and why they kept breaking in to coverage of whether it was the NHL finals, whether it was Major League Baseball games, SportsCenter, the news, the NBA finals, because, Rockets, Knicks, Hakeem Ori going for their first title. I was so upset that they kept interrupting this game with all of this, what felt like hoopla to me as a 13-year-old kid. Math hard. 94, so that would be 81. So 12-year-old kid, 12, 13. So I don't think I fully grasped what was going on in the moment. But thanks to documentaries of like that O.J. Simpson Made in America by E60, I have a greater appreciation for the gravity of what was happening in that moment. after the fact in retrospect. And it was kind of the birth of everything we are today. It was the birth of court TV. It was the birth of reality TV. It was the birth of everything that we are enthralled by to this current day. Modern Housewife, all the, the TV show that they have about police on A&E. All of these things are a byproduct of what happened that day and how it captured the nation's attention. And so, like I said, I don't know quite how to feel about it. He was acquitted, found guilty in civil trial, did go to jail for kidnapping charges, not murder, for 9 years. But to be honest, I didn't even know he was sick. They kept that very close to the vest. Prostate cancer. I know men need to have their checkups. I am now over 40. I just turned 43. Probably a good time as any for me. But there was just a lot of mixed emotions when I heard about O.J. Simpson's passing, because I remember him in the Naked Gun movies growing up, and in Airplane, and the Hertz commercials. I mean, the guy was everywhere for me growing up. Villarreal says, Pledge, finally back in. He was watching Game 5 of the finals. The bar ended up watching the chase, and they didn't get to see the end of that game live. Wow. You know how mad I would be if that would have happened? Can you imagine if that was this, for y'all, a Spurs game, and they just cut away from it or break into it and start taking away from parts of the game? God, how mad would you be? Well, that's how mad I was as a kid back in 1994. This is Extra Innings with Pledger. I am James Pledger right here on San Antonio Sports Star, 94.1 FM, sasportstar.com. Coming up next, Joe Reinagle will join me as we'll talk about that, the Masters, his thoughts going into day 2 and the weekend, and how he feels about where his picks are in comparison to Jason Mannix. And of course, the never-ending drama that comes out of Dallas. All of that is coming up next with Joe Reinagle right here, including his takeaways from some of their great interviews today with Nancy Lieberman and Ice Cube. And if you've missed any of that, go make sure to listen at our audio vault presented by AA Best Bail Bonds. They're both up there right now. sasportstar.com, audio vault. Nancy Lieberman tells an incredible Kobe Bryant story, and Ice Cube, founder of the Big Three, rapper, actor, producer. Fantastic stuff, and shied away from none of the Caitlin Clark stuff. They said, yes, $5 million on the table. As a matter of fact, when it's all said and done, might be worth more than $5 million. This is Extra Innings with Pledger. Joe Reinagle coming up next right here on San Antonio Sports Star.
It's the Morning Huddle with Rob and RJ.
Hey, Friday on the Morning Huddle, it's going to be a busy day. The Spurs are inviting Joker into the house as 21 imminent.
Plus, I hear those birds chirping. It is Friday at the Masters. What happened on Thursday? Who put themselves in position to win the green jacket? We'll discuss. The Morning Huddle starts at 6.
It's the Morning Huddle with Rob and RJ. Mornings 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Buyers Barricades is proud to provide traffic control, rental, and sales for work zones and events in the San Antonio area and beyond. Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. Learn more online at buyersbarricades.com. That's buyersbarricades.com.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. 120,000 miles of night drives, daily commutes, and who knows how many.
Are we there yet?
Through countless fixes, elbow grease, and a new radiator, you kept your ride alive. With eBay Motors, you have over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
For the ones who work hard to ensure their crew can always go the extra mile, and the ones who get in early so everyone can go home on time, there's Grainger, offering professional-grade supplies backed by product experts so you can quickly and easily find what you need. Plus, you can count on access to a committed team ready to go the extra mile for you. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Marcus is a connoisseur of anything that's free, so he was happy to read the disclaimer on TurboTax Free Edition.
Roughly 37% of taxpayers qualify. Form 1040 and limited credits only. See how at TurboTax.com. That's me.
File your taxes 100% free with TurboTax Free Edition and get your max refund guaranteed. See if you qualify to file for free at TurboTax.com. See max refund guarantee details at TurboTax.com/guarantees.
Let's clear on with Spring Black Friday savings at the Home Depot. Right now, get the Ryobi One Plus leaf blower for just $89 and make your lawn work easier with a powerful 90 miles an hour of clearing power. Plus, you can buy it online and pick it up in store, getting you outside sooner. Get your yard spring ready with the Ryobi One Plus leaf blower, now just $89 during Spring Black Friday at the Home Depot. How doers get more done. See store at homedepot.com/delivery for details.
Nigel, what's up with your hair?
Joel, prices are insane these days. I'm cutting my own hair.
Folks, nobody likes paying high prices. Good news, for a limited time, all Quarter Moon 14-seer AC systems up to 3 tons are installed in your house for only $69.99. Now is the ideal time to take care of your home at the lowest price of the year.
Joel, I like saving money. I'm an influencer. Everywhere I go, people hand me change and say, bless your heart.
Quarter Moon Plumbing, Heat, and AC. 210-651-5899. License number M16004. DACLA 000743445.
Heart Royal Flush Tour 2024. May 1st, Frostbank Center. A journey through the hits and timeless classics. The iconic band returns with special guest Cheap Trick. Tickets on sale now at heart-music.com. Don't miss 2 Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inductees. Heart with Cheap Trick live.
Folks, quality is a huge deal. It's what I look for when I recommend something to my listeners. It means you can depend on it. Quality means it won't let you down. It's something you can be proud of. Well, that's the definition of a Connecticut water softener. With other water softener brands, you just never know. Maybe they work half the time or they're just plain junk. A Connecticut water softener is up to 80% more efficient than competing models and will be the last water softener you'll ever own. That's because you're buying quality, and it's backed up with an outstanding 10-year warranty, too. If you're ready to enjoy all the benefits that come with quality, bring home a Connecticut water softener. Call the team at Connecticut at 656-PURE or online at ConnecticutSA.com. That's 656-PURE or ConnecticutSA.com and tell them Dave Ramsey sent you.
The last water softener you'll ever own. Call 656-PURE. Kinetico.
The future of medicine is here at QC Kinetics. QC is the nation's leader in the most exciting revolution in pain management we've seen in decades, regenerative medicine. If you're tired of achy joints, your joint pain keeping you from doing what you love, then you need to call QC Kinetics now. Surgery, steroids, drugs, these are no longer your best options. Regenerative medicine at QC Kinetics is transforming lives with innovative treatments that deliver lasting results. We're talking natural biologics using your own body's power to repair and restore damaged tissue. QC Kinetics is under the leadership of National Medical Director Dr. Mitchell Scheinkup. Dr. Scheinkup is a pioneer in this field with 20 years of clinical work, tons of research, teaching, and publishing. He wants to get you relief with a needle, not a knife. Call now to learn more about some exciting options in this revolutionary approach to get you long-term relief with no downtime. So what are you waiting for? Call QC Kinetics now for a free consultation. 210-571-0318. That's 210-571-0318. Locations in Hollywood Park, Westover Hills, and New Braunfels.
Diamonds Direct spring sale starts this weekend.
Get 20% off rings, earrings, pendants, bracelets, and more. It's the best store-wide sale of the season. Plus, book an appointment and get an additional $100 off. That's right, 20% savings plus an extra $100 off. Also enjoy an expanded selection of the latest style with designer appearances each weekend. Tons of engagement rings on sale too. 20% off starts Friday and open this Sunday as well. Details at diamondsdirect.com.
Hey, it's Jim Rome, and it's great to be back in San Antonio. Join me weekdays at noon on my new home, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Welcome back into Extra Innings with Pledger right here on San Antonio Sports Star, 94.1 FM, sasportstar.com. I am James Pledger. Joining me now via the Buyers Barricades guest line, co-host of The Blitz, hear him from 2 to 6 every day, Joe Ryan-Eagle, and there's probably nobody I really want to talk to more on, day one of the Masters as first kind of initial takeaways. I know we're not all the way through round one yet, and there is some fear that maybe they won't all get to finish. I seriously have concerns about Tiger Woods if he has to stop and then play more tomorrow than what he might be ready to handle physically, especially with the slopes that course provides.
Agree with you, Pledge. I think, that could be a factor. I know he was, I think through 10 or 11, so he may have a few holes to play. And the problem with that is that, he teed off in the afternoon, so he'd come back. I think he'd handle it okay because he wouldn't have to go rest and then come back. So I think he'd be all right. And and what a great story this guy is. I mean, my goodness, with everything he's been through, he gets out there at Augusta and just all of a sudden finds the magic again. The fact that he's 1 under par is incredible to me. He just never ceases to amaze me.
1 under par through 11 right now, just walking off after saving on 11, heading over to the 12th tee. And there's just something about Tiger on those fairways at Augusta that just brings magic. And I think we all just want to see him make the weekend. Every single one of us, if he is there Saturday and Sunday, we're going to be locked in.
Well, and that's why CBS certainly wants him to make the weekend as well. They have the coverage of that this weekend. By the way, just in case we didn't talk about it today on the Blitz, but it's Vern Lundquist's last Masters, and so I think that they're going to celebrate him a little bit. That guy has been doing that forever. So something else to watch this weekend if you want to. But I love Tiger Woods' Pledge, and I'm going to tell you what. Scotty Scheffler right now is on another planet. He shoots 6 under today. I know he's a shot behind DeChambeau, but if this guy, if his wife doesn't go into labor, this guy's most likely going to win this thing. He is just playing better than everybody else right now, and it's incredible to watch this man play golf.
And it's the shot making that he has, because he found himself in trouble quite a few times on the course today, hitting from the straw, hitting out of the trees, and still manages to go out and shoot 6 under in round one at Augusta, despite that what looks like 30-mile-an-hour gusts, probably. I mean, the wind is whipping out there. And I imagine in those holes, in those, valleys that the holes kind of dig into, I imagine once it gets up above that tree line, you have no clue where your ball's going.
Well, you're exactly right about that. The fact that they had a rain delay today helped the players a little bit because those greens are soft. If it doesn't rain anymore and those winds keep up, I'm going to tell you by Saturday or possibly even tomorrow afternoon, those greens are going to be like putting on the street I'm driving on right now. They're just going to be slick and fast, and that's what makes that course hard. I hear from people all the time that course isn't overly hard from tee to green. But once you get on those greens, it's just brutal with the slopes, with as quick as they are, how slick they are, and that's where it can really jump up and bite you.
So how are you feeling currently between you and Minix on y'all's beer bet Masters bet? As Shoffley had a nice little comeback today. He was 2 over for a while, got back to even last I saw, as he's still in the clubhouse now. He did get back to even. He's got Burns and Koepka. You've got Rory, who's at 1 under, Spieth, who was struggling out on the course, and Matsuyama, who I think was 2 over last I saw.
Well, Spieth was 2 over too the last I saw. So obviously by those scores, I'm not doing well. Rory is hanging in there for me, so that's a good thing. And man, I just think it's his time. I really do. That guy's had such bad luck at the Masters that I just thought it was Rory McIlroy's time. Whether it is or not, I don't know because of the way Scotty Scheffler is playing. DeChambeau played well today, but I don't know if he can do that for another 3 rounds. Guy hits the ball a mile, but he's not the most finesse guy in the world. So that may jump up and bite him a little bit. But Scheffler, as long as his wife cooperates, just might walk away with another like
she
green
has a
jacket.
choice in the matter.
Well, maybe it's the kid we need to talk to. Hey, hang in there, buddy. You don't want to come out in this cold, cruel world. Stay in there. It's nice in there.
Another couple of days, you'll be fine.
Exactly.
The story that keeps giving is the Dallas Cowboys. Even when they do
Oh, my
nothing,
God.
that becomes something. And Adam Schefter's, I don't want to call it a report because it felt like, and that's the difficulty when you have a news breaking guy like Adam Schefter on these panel shows. You have to kind of discern what is a report versus what is his opinion, right? And so this felt more opinion based than fact based. But the fact that he feels the Cowboys could be a sleeper team to draft a quarterback this year, okay, cool. But beyond all of that, why does it always feel like the Cowboys don't do things they should do unless they are physically backed into a corner to do it?
Yeah, and that's their MO, isn't it? I mean, that's the way they operate. But this free agency period has just been baffling to me for them to be as inactive as they are. Look, I know they're not very active anyway, but this year just seems to be to the extreme. And I just don't think, look, they may draft a quarterback. They're not going to draft one early. They've got too many other needs. If they do that in the later rounds, perhaps they take a flyer on somebody. Plus, they do have Trey Lance, and I know everybody snickers at that, but I think they're going to try and see what they've got there. And I think it'd be stupid of them not to. I think he'll get so much playing time in the preseason. He will have a training camp with him. He sat behind Dak Prescott last year. You got to see what you have there. And I think they're going to really take a close look on him. And I'll be honest with you, Clay, it's a couple of things. I don't think Jerry Jones wants to scratch a check for $60 million a year. I really think he's having a hard time with that with Dak Prescott. The other thing is, I'm not totally convinced that Dak Prescott wants to be there anymore. Maybe Dak wants to get out on the free agent market, see what's out there, see what his value is there. And so, it takes 2 to tango. And, on the Dak side, he may be the one not willing to dance at this point in time.
And that could be all well and good, but you brought up Trey Lance's name, and I just find it very, very difficult to give that any kind of credence. To me, that felt like a way to get hand in Dak contract negotiations that never played out, because let's face it, they're not. May 2nd is the deadline to pick up his 5th-year option. If not, he is a free agent just like Dak at the end of the year.
Well, yeah, look, and you're right. They're not going to pick up that 5th-year option. It's too much money. It's $22 million plus. They're not going to do that. But I think they've got to see what they've got there. I mean, look, somebody thought this kid was pretty good. They drafted him 3rd overall. He's only 24 years old. Change of scenery. I don't know. Look, I thought it was a stupid trade when it happened. I still don't think Trey Lance is the answer. But I think the Cowboys, now that they have him, they've got to take a very close look at him and see if possibly there's anything there. I agree with you. I think it was a ploy to kind of, needle Dak a little bit. Obviously not going to work. Dak wasn't scared when he came in. That didn't, they'd have to really bring somebody in that would be a threat. And I don't think Trey Lance is that guy. But I just don't think Jerry wants to write Dak a check. He may end up having to do that in the long run, but I don't think he wants to. And I'm not totally convinced Dak is ready to give another 4 or 5 years of his career to the Dallas Cowboys.
He is Joe Rangel. The Blitz catch him weekdays 2 to 6 with Jason Minix. Looking at the other story that came out this week, the Micah Parsons thing. Sean Sharif of 105.3 The Fan up there says he's talked to 4 people at least inside the building, and inside the building doesn't clarify if that's a trainer, if that's administrative staff, if that's players in the locker room. Inside the building is very vague. But the fact that he could be wearing thin in Dallas, and part of me goes, if that's players, yeah, I can see that. I would also be very upset that he has no gumption in taking all of the credit and 0% of the response kicked in by Arizona, San Francisco, Buffalo, and Green Bay.
Yeah, Micah needs to learn some etiquette when it comes to that. Look, you've got to be a good teammate, and leaders do it behind the scenes. A good leader typically is not going to come out and blast his teammates and his coaches. I think that story is accurate. I think that, yeah, he's probably rubbed some people wrong, but he's Micah Parsons. He's got a lot of potential. He's still young. I just cannot see them moving off from him and letting him walk. So he's going to get a contract. CeeDee Lamb's going to get a contract. Then you've got Dak Prescott. If he gets a contract, you still have Trayvon Diggs, who they have talked about reworking a little bit. But if you got 4 guys making a lot of money like that, it's going to be very difficult to do much else. And that's my concern with the Cowboys. And they're going to go into this draft. They're going to draft offensive linemen. They're going to get themselves a running back, maybe another linebacker, maybe another defensive back as well. But you got to hope that those guys can come in and play. And that's what they're banking on, because the Cowboys weren't active in free agency because they can't be if they're going to sign all of those guys to major contracts. And every one of those guys, the 3 that we're talking about, Micah, CeeDee, and Dak, are going to require historic money to sign them. They just are. And it's going to be very difficult. And when you got all that money tied up in just a handful of players, man, it's difficult to do anything else. And you got to get extremely lucky through the draft.
That is true. But to say they can't be active is a bit of a fallacy, because they can restructure deal. They can do the same things that other teams across the NFL do to create money. They are choosing not to right now. This is a choice by the Dallas Cowboys, which means it tells me a little bit more they're in activity this offseason than in years past.
Hey, I would stand up and applaud Jerry Jones if he just said, you know what? I know I'm 81. I don't want to rebuild, but you know what? We're not getting it done. It's been almost 30 years. Time to do something different. We're going to try this way. And Dak would get a job. He'd be just fine. Wouldn't worry about him. But you know what? At least it'd be trying something. I don't see this team being any better this year as it stands right now than they were last year. And in fact, they won't be that good. So it's going to be interesting to see what they do in the draft first and foremost. And then after that, see what they do in free agency. But it's always fun covering the Cowboys, no doubt.
Just a couple updates for you to get you home. Our guy, Tyrell Hatton, who has no chance of winning, is at 3 under par right now. And Texas Open champion, Akshay Bhatia, 1 under through 15.
How about that? He's playing well. Good for him. Good for him. He had to win the Valero Texas Open to get in. He did. Now he's going to make the most of it, it looks like. That's great.
He is Joe Reinagle. Be sure to catch him tomorrow, and be sure to go back and catch their interview with Nancy Lieberman and Ice Cube today, man. That was a fantastic piece of interview work by y'all today.
It was an awesome honor to talk to both of those folks.
He is Joe Reinagle. Have yourself a good night. Thanks for the time as always.
Thank you, Pledge. Appreciate it.
Joe Reinagle joining us via the Buyers Barricades guest line. All of our guests appear via the Buyers Barricades guest line. They provide traffic control, rental, and sales for San Antonio and beyond. They are online at buyersbarricades.com. Coming up next, the San Antonio Spurs, Victor Wembanyama off the injury report. Will we get to see him tomorrow night at home in one of the last two games of the season against Denver? That and a face that the Spurs may have wanted, or at least I wanted, comes off the board. It's all coming up here on Extra Innings with Pleasure on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It's the 2024 NFL Draft on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
We're the 24th pick. The Dallas Cowboys select
April 25th, 26th, and 27th. Join 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star for this year's NFL Draft. Live from Detroit.
I love the tenacity and the aggression with which he plays. He is a mauler.
Who do the Cowboys and Texans pick? Does Jerry make a splash? And who's the next Mr. Irrelevant?
the Houston Texans select C.J. Stroud.
We don't ever want to pass on the guy you ought to be taking there, but still be position
I
select.
thought Sauce Gardner would be the first corner, but you go back to 2019, and that version of Derek Stingley is as good as anybody in this entire draft class.
Find out right here on your exclusive home for the NFL Draft. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
The John Clay Wolf Show. Here's what's going on in the Wolf Pack.
Porn sites in Texas are turned off.
Yes, they are.
Oh, they are?
The legislation passed a rule that you have to prove your age. And if you haven't proven your age, which nobody wants to put that information out on the porn sites, they lock you out.
In the past, they said, "Are you 21?" And me and all the other 8th graders would say, "Yes."
The John Clay Wolf Show.
Catch the John Clay Wolf Show Saturdays from 9 a.m. to noon right here on San Antonio Sports Star.
Puro San Antonio football returns to the Alamo Dome this Sunday as they take on the St. Louis Battlehawks. Let's pack the dome and join the herd in the best seats at the best prices, now starting at $15.50. Led by legendary head coach Wade Phillips and quarterback Chase Garbers. Experience the excitement. Head to theUFL.com to buy your Brahmas tickets today. It's the Brahmas versus the Battlehawks Sunday. Kickoff in the Dome is at 2. Get your tickets now at theUFL.com. Vamos Brahmas!
Texting enrolls you in a recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
The team's looking good this season.
I think so. Man, I miss playing football. Being young with unlimited energy to burn. Ever since I turned 40, I just can't find that fire I used to have.
Think it could be lower testosterone?
What do you mean?
All guys lose their edge when they turn 40. The body has less testosterone. That's why I take Nugenix Total T.
I've heard about Nugenix. That really works?
Since I started taking Nugenix, I'm lifting like when we played for Coach Carter. I feel more energized at work. It's even spiced up things between me and the missus.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try?
Yep, send a text. It's that easy.
Text YOUTH to 42424 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T. It's the #1 selling testosterone boosting brand at GNC and Walmart. Do it now and they'll also send you a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, their newest, most powerful fat burner ever, absolutely free. Text YOUTH to 42424. That's YOUTH to 42424.
Statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
This story is called The Ugly Truth About Timeshare. If you think you've done your family a favor by buying a timeshare, you need my help. Hello, I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. 10 years ago, I started helping folks cancel their timeshare. In the process, started what's now called the timeshare cancellation industry. The ugly truth is when you buy a timeshare, you can't tell me how much it's going to cost or when it's going to end. I recently helped a couple that had their maintenance fees go from $800 to $3,200 a year. They also received a $4,000 assessment for a hurricane that was over 1,000 miles away. Sound crazy? The crazy thing is this never ends. Call my office now. If we take you as a client, I guarantee we'll cancel your timeshare or you'll pay nothing.
Call for your free information kit. Call 800-462-3333. That's 800-462-3333. 800-462-3333.
Pros, save big every day when you buy in bulk at Lowe's. Save 10% on bulk purchases of select roofing shingles. Plus, save an extra 5% every day on eligible purchases when you use your Lowe's business credit card. Visit us in-store or online for low prices on the materials you need. Lowe's knows pros. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. Discount taken at time of purchase. See sales associate for details. 5% offer subject to credit approval. Exclusions and terms apply. See store lowes.com/credit for details. U.S. only.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. Go ahead, feel your engine. Admire that perfectly installed exhaust. Your vehicle's moving along this freeway like it was made from fresh installs and a whole lot of love. With eBay Motors, you get over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Texting enrolls you in a recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
The team's looking good this season.
I think so. Man, I miss playing football. Being young with unlimited energy to burn. Ever since I turned 40, I just can't find that fire I used to have.
Think you could be lower testosterone?
What do you mean?
All guys lose their edge when they turn 40. The body has less testosterone. That's why I take Nugenix Total T.
I've heard about Nugenix. That really works?
Since I started taking Nugenix, I'm lifting like when we played for Coach Carter. I feel more energized at work. It's even spiced up things between me and the missus.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try?
Yep, send a text.
424 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T. It's the #1 selling testosterone boosting brand at GNC and Walmart. Do it now and they'll also send you a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, their newest, most powerful fat burner ever, absolutely free. Text AREA to 42424. That's AREA to 42424.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Your home for the Dallas Cowboys is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Welcome back into Extra Innings with Pledger. I'm James Pledger, right here on San Antonio Sports Star 94.1 FM, sasportstar.com. Taking a look in the bullpen, all the comments on our YouTube channel. Go ahead, hit like, subscribe. You can comment along with the show. Fred Robert Casares Jr. said that he likes Joe Milton in the later rounds. Me personally, I like Spencer Rattler. If I was the Cowboys, I took a 4th, 5th round pick and he was still there, I would not mind that selection at all for if I was a Dallas Cowboys fan, because A, it gives you at least something to develop in case of emergency going into the following year, and you lose Dak and you lose Trey Lance. The cupboard's not bare. And there's upside there. He flashed it both at OU and South Carolina. Played very well. Take your calls and reaction. 210-656-ESPN, 210-656-3776. Drew Holiday got an extension right before the end of the show yesterday, and that one bummed me out. 4 years, $135 million, which means he's staying in Boston. That veteran point guard that I wanted in free agency, no longer available. And there's not really any other veteran point guards outside of Trey Jones' older brother, Tyus Jones, that you would really consider bringing in any capacity. I still like Tobias Harris. I think that they should bring him in to solidify the wing. But should the Spurs go the trade route? Should they give up, I'm not going to say everything, but a good chunk of things for a Trae Young, a DeJounte Murray, a Darius Garland, and go that route, knowing that 2025 next year is the draft that most pundits say is one of those generational type drafts headlined by one Cooper Flag. Would you be willing to forego, in case you do suck again, that 2025 first round pick that somebody's going to want in the attempt of bringing in an established player like a Trae Young or a DeJounte Murray? 210-656-3776. That's a big draft in 2025. And it's not just because of Flag. He's just the headliner of it, the way Wemby was this past season. But there's a lot there. Now, Wemby didn't play last night for the Spurs, and they got absolutely drubbed, 127-89. Does that help or hurt Wemby to you? I look at it and I'm like, without Wemby, the Spurs are absolutely terrible, awful, horrendous. And it's not just Wemby. They're also without Devin Vassell, and they're also without Jeremy Sohan, and they're also without Keldon Johnson. But with Wemby, they can win games. With Wemby, they can be competitive in said games. Without Wemby, this team is the absolute worst. So, did that help to maybe enlighten people of how much Wemby brings value defensively to this team? Or should we just be happy with an all-NBA defensive first team, likely, and a second in defensive player of the year? I'm a buck the system guy. He's a rookie. I don't think that should come into account, especially in an award that is an individual award, the way that the defensive player of the year is. I don't think team stats should matter in that, because he's not playing with a very good team. It's not defensive team of the year. Like the MVP, the year A-Rob wore it. Or the MVP, the year Shohei Ohtani won it. It's not like the Angels have been good at any point in time. But he's still the MVP. And I don't think anybody would argue that. He has been that good, both pitching and hitting. I don't think at this point tanking matters. You got 2 games left, win, loss, whatever. I understand the 14%. I don't think there's anybody in this draft that makes a difference about that 14%. This draft does not feel great. But I'm happy to see that Wemby is off the injury report for tomorrow night's game against Denver and can actually, play one last time, 2 last times, hopefully, in front of his home crowd before he packs it into the offseason and starts getting ready for Paris and the Olympics. Fred Record says, go for the trade. A veteran, time is now. Enough with accepting failure. Part of me wants that too. But you have to make sure you're bringing in the right guy that fits with Wemby. Because as we've seen this year, fit is going to be very important. We've seen a bunch of teams bring a bunch of stars together and it not work. Because there has to be some cohesion and people accepting their roles. You got to make sure whoever you do get is the right type of guy. This is Extra Innings with Pleasure. We'll come back, put a bow on the show, and take a look at if the Kentucky job is still what people think that it was. That's coming up here on Extra Innings with Pleasure on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
90 Proof Bar and Grill is the ultimate spot to catch a game and satisfy your cravings. Kitchen's open till midnight every day, serving up delicious bites to fuel your hunger, plus daily drink specials. Make every night a winning night at 90 Proof Bar and Grill, corner of Highway 90 and Lucky Ranch.
For the ones who work hard to ensure their crew can always go the extra mile, and the ones who get in early so everyone can go home on time, there's Grainger, offering professional-grade supplies backed by product experts so you can quickly and easily find what you need. Plus, you can count on access to a committed team ready to go the extra mile for you. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies candidates with the right skills, sends you great matches, then you can easily invite them to apply. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. See for yourself. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/free to try ZipRecruiter for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
If you're a man and you live in San Antonio or the surrounding areas, you need to pay close attention to what I'm about to say. Are you having issues rising to the occasion? Do you constantly worry about whether or not you can perform? Have you completely stopped having adult time? Is it something you just don't talk about? Guys, we have a solution. Mojo, the 100% guaranteed male enhancement pill that's fast, effective, and was designed to reignite passion, performance, and confidence in the bedroom. Yeah. Be ready at a moment's notice with the Mojo Male Enhancement Pill from Pure Line Nutrition. And for those of you who have used Mojo, check out Mojo Enduramax. Touchdown! A new formula that improves the potency and effectiveness of Mojo. Get fast results, last longer, and be the man she'll never forget. Mojo and Mojo Enduramax. 100% natural male enhancement formulas only available now, 210-494-2210. That's 210-494-2210. Or visit us online at thepureline.com.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
This story is called The Ugly Truth About Timeshare. If you think you've done your family a favor by buying a timeshare, you need my help. Hello, I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. 10 years ago, I started helping folks cancel their timeshare. In the process, started what's now called the timeshare cancellation industry. The ugly truth is when you buy a timeshare, you can't tell me how much it's going to cost or when it's going to end. I recently helped a couple that had their maintenance fees go from $800 to $3,200 a year. They also received a $4,000 assessment for a hurricane that was over 1,000 miles away. Sound crazy? The crazy thing is this never ends. Call my office now. If we take you as a client, I guarantee we'll cancel your timeshare or you'll pay nothing.
Call for your free information kit. Call 800-462-3333. That's 800-462-3333. 800-462-3333.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health San Antonio will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 210-615-7777. That's 210-615-7777. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Hey, poker players, the Big Blind is open. With a true Vegas feel, the Big Blind is the premier poker room in San Antonio, featuring an upscale environment catering to players from all abilities. Whether you are seeking high-octane tournaments or lively cash games, the Big Blind has a game for everyone. The Big Blind at 281 in Redland Road, just down from the Rue Pub, offers daily cash games to daily, weekly, and monthly tournaments. Learn more online at thebigblindsa.com. The Big Blind at 281 in Redland Road.
This is Andrew Monaco and the Aggies right here. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Taking a look in the bullpen. Jeff McClanahan says this year's NBA draft supposedly isn't great or even that good. I see the Spurs trying to get a high-level player. I just don't want Trae Young. Turnovers are already an issue. Don't want projects either. I get it. The young team excuse is worn thin this year, especially when you see the second youngest team in the NBA and second in the Western Conference. So, I mean, Fred Robert Casares Jr. says Spurs are drafting Zach Edey out of Purdue. Sure, in the second round, hopefully, because not worthy of their top 10 pick, top 5 pick. No. It's going to be very interesting to watch as things unfold. The horn just went off at the Masters. Daylight cutting it out as Tiger Woods wrapping up on the final hole, which will be hole 12 for him. He's through 12. He's on 13 right now. So he's going to hole out here. His round will come to an end, and just like that, through 13 holes, he is still at 1 under par. DeChambeau leads the way at 7 under. Scotty Scheffler just 1 back at 6 under. I appreciate everybody for rolling through tonight here on Extra Innings with Pledger. I am James Pledger. Remember, everybody, have a great night. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Get you ready for the weekend right here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Easy Cater has everything you need to make food for work. From ordering to reporting, we even keep your receipts all in one place, which means all you need to do is sit back and enjoy.
You're not having any lasagna?
All I can taste is hours of expense reports.
Relax, you used Easy Cater. Enjoy the food, Ray.
Oh, no, thanks.
Enjoy it?
Amazing.
Yes, Ray, it is amazing.